Hello and welcome back to Boxing Social in association with Betfred. My name is Ayman Khan and we're here at the Hard Rock Hotel with the one and only, the boxing great Larry Holmes. Larry, first of all, how's life treating you?
Life is well, and thank God for it.
Thank God indeed to live another blessed day, and it's an even more blessed day sitting there or standing in front of you today, get to speak to you. Larry, 40 years on from the showdown, a fight with Jerry Cooney, and 40 years later you stand before us as two really good friends. How did you get from the point of two fighters going in for mortal battle to the point where you're inseparable?
First of all, you're going to have to understand why you're fighting, what you're doing, and is it for a cause or for just fun or you just plain crazy? So this is nice. I like this. I'm here with you and your crew, and we're taking pictures and we're talking about stuff that we used to do.
It was that fight that you both had was a very intense fight in the way that there was a lot of kind of racial tones around them. That was stirred around outside of the fight between the two. But boxing is a sport where sometimes you go bad. But this is a story of where those tones have been said. But in amongst all of it, you two have become great friends from that. How was it dealing at the time, that heat of what was being said around the fight?
Well, when we was getting ready to fight, I mean everybody from from hell to hell come out of the woodworks to pitch a penny or nickel, what you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
But Jerry and I think we had an understanding that work, or we have an understanding that we thought didn't work or won't work, and we did it in a way and it worked.
Recognition is a big word that I hear about a lot of the fighters of the era and the ilk that are going now and in your era as well. But at the time when they fought, they don't quite get the recognition of the great fighter that they were. But when they do quit, when they do leave, they do get that recognition. Did you feel that? Did you feel that love after that maybe you didn't get in your career that you should have got at the time?
No, because it happens like that. Muhammad Ali wasn't the greatest until he retired and fought somebody that been out there, and that's the way it was. That's the way it is, and that's what's happening today.
Mm-hmm.
And people are going to watch this program and say, "Wow, I didn't know he went through all of that
Mm-hmm.
or did all of that," and it's going to be great.
You fought Ali, you fought Tyson. I watched a clip of an interaction between Ali and Tyson where they both were asked about, in their primes, who would have beaten who. And Ali pointed at Tyson, and Tyson said, I've got to bow my head, my tongue must confess, Ali would have won. You were the bridge between the two of them, having fought both of them. In your opinion, prime for prime, from what you saw with your eyes, Larry, who do you think would have won that fight?
I would have won it without a doubt. Mike Tyson, he was young and he couldn't throw, and he'd have been right there, out there for me and for Ali or whatever to hit.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we don't want to take that away from Mike. He did a great job, and we accept that.
Larry, you're a fighter who is widely regarded as someone who has one of the best, if not the best, jab that's ever graced a canvas in boxing. What does it take for a jab to go from a competent, good jab to an elite jab that you had?
Work hard, practice each and every day. If you don't do that, you're not going to receive no goodness out of it.
In terms of the fighters that grace the ring now, there's a good crop of fighters who are putting their lives on the line to go for the gold, as it were. Tyson Fury's fighting. We've seen Deontay Wilder fight Anthony Joshua, Alexander Usyk. Of those fighters, do you think they could have competed in the era that you were in?
No, because they're not doing nothing right now. And we fought every 30 days, every 60 days. We was back in that ring fighting for money and for the glory of being the heavyweight champion of the world. Those guys are great fighters, like I said, but they couldn't touch us.
Do you think one of them could? Do you think there is one that could potentially get to that point where they could be in the discussion with you guys?
Yeah, but they got to hurry up. They gotta hurry up and do it because time is running. Time don't wait for nobody. Time run out on you. Those guys getting old. Like me, I got old. Ali got old. All the guys that naming got old. And only way Tyson them guys can do it, they gotta get it done and do it now because they're getting old.
Do you think that's what we see with fighters now, or boxing in general, just fighters not fighting enough? And if they want that greatness, they've really got to seize it, like the fighters of your era did.
Yeah, they have to work harder to receive what we got because we worked and we respected it and we respect each other. So Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, Kenny Norton, Ron Lyle, Larry Holmes, we worked. Nobody give us nothing. We worked hard for it.
I want to talk about a couple of moments in your career as well, specifically the infamous moment that we see of you on top of the car doing I have a Vince McMahon shirt. It was a wrestling promoter back in the day, but something out of that kind of ilk. What happened there? Can you recall those moments?
No, I can't really know what you're talking about because time went by real quick. But whatever I did it because I thought he was going to put me in a certain different position. But that's the way to go.
If you were ever to think about a fantasy fight that you'd want with maybe a fighter right now or a fighter in the past you fought pretty much everyone, Larry, but is there a fighter that you think, I wish I was in the ring with him maybe now or from the past?
No, I never do that. I don't look back, I talk about I should have, or I could have did this, I could have did that, but I don't go into the wishing well.
A couple more things from me, Larry. Evander Holyfield was someone who had an exhibition recently. I don't know if you caught that fight, and can I get your thoughts about that?
Well, I know what Holyfield is doing, working, trying to fight, but he don't need to fight, and he ain't gonna be a lot of he'll get recognized. People are not gonna recognize. They're gonna say he's crazy. He's fighting. He got enough money, and that's where they're gonna leave it.
And then also, there's been talk about the one crossover fight, big fight that people do talk about is a Tyson Fury and a Lennox Lewis fight. If they, in some universe, ever got in the ring prime for prime, who do you think would have won that fight?
Well, Mike Tyson had a better chance to do that.
Tyson Fury, sorry.
Tyson have a better chance in that fight with Fury, but I got to give him a chance because he's tall and long, got long arms, he can jab, he can do a lot of those things, and if he train hard enough, I think he's gonna beat Mike Tyson.
I also mentioned as well, you fighting some of the great fighters in the moments in your career. Ernie Shavers was a fighter you fought who was widely considered as someone who had the hardest punch in the business. They replicate that with Deontay Wilder too, as someone who's been one of the hardest punchers ever. Talk to me about what it was like dealing with someone of that power, because you beat him well.
Yeah, Ernie Shavers was a strong, powerful, strong person, and if he hits you, it's good night out of ring. That's the way it was. I seen Ernie hit a lot of guys and hurt them. So I think it'd be good night out of ring if Ernie ever hits them.
Larry, it's been a pleasure speaking to you. One of the heavyweight greats. Thank you so much for speaking to Boxing Social. Much appreciated, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Keep pushing.
Thank you so much.